our book chat. Today's theme I am super excited about is graphic novels. We love them, and I know you love them too. I have 3 titles to tell you about, so maybe you could check out, and maybe you already read these, but you can recommend to a friend. So let's get started. Okay, so books are one of two things. They're either mirrors or windows. A book is a mirror if it's a reflection you can see similarities in your own life. Like, oh, I've been through that. A book is a window. It allows you to look into someone else's life. Just like looking out the window and you see your neighbor out cutting the grass or something. You get a little sneak peek into someone else's life and experiences. Okay, so some of these books we have today, they are very good window books or mirror books, depending on who you are. So our first story is called Squish, Super Amoeba. It's the first one in the series, and it's by the authors Jennifer Holm and Matthew Holm. They might sound familiar to you if you read the Baby Mouse series. It's also graphic novels. It's super cute. But Squish is a little more sciencey. It uses real science terms, and he's an amoeba. He loves Twinkies and comic books. Sign me up. And he basically goes to school and he deals with tough things like bullying. And so that might be something that you might be experiencing, but it's a positive story. It's positive role models, good advice, and he likes to escape in comic books. There's a Super Amoeba comic book that he often like dazes out and dreams about in class. But check it out to see if he overcomes his bullying problem. Let's take a look at the artwork. So let's sneak in here. It's really interesting. Let's just take a quick peek. And parents love that they learn about science, like paramecium, amoebas, plankton, and how they digest food. It's really cool series, so take a look at it. The next story is called Light by Rob Chan and Call in All Adventurers. This story is about a young adventurer that goes out and he meets a lot of interesting things, even a little friend, and they encounter a lot of scary things in the dark. It's called Light because the author uses contrast of light and dark to make the story. And I'll show you a picture to illustrate this. This book is good for like all ages, I would say. It's not too scary, but it's just the right amount of like, adventure and interesting occurrences that happen. See, you can see that they battle a creature. It's definitely one of my favorites. I was the first person to check it out at our library when it came in, and I'm sure it would be a good addition and a great favorite of yours too. Our third book is called Deafo by C.C. Bell, and this is a beautiful story about actually the author, her very own story of her experiences being deaf as a child and growing up. The character gets to she goes to a school that's just all for deaf people, and she goes to a new school and she's the only deaf person there. So she is terrified because she wears a hearing aid that has a voice box, and she is wondering what would they think, how she's the only deaf person. She ends up learning that that's actually her superpower because her hearing aid allows her to hear the teacher in other rooms and in the lounge, and she gets like inside information about what's going on at the school. And so she gives herself the name of Deafo, and she finds out that she really just wants a friend that gets her for her. And check out this book because it's a lot of funny, embarrassing stories that she went through, that we all went through as a child, or you might be going through now. and it's just lovely. I love this book so much. Parents, you need to know that this book does have some instances of there's cigarette use, that the parents are smoking and the parents like briefly, and then the parents in one thing is drinking some wine. Also, she overhears the teachers in the teacher lounge talking about a student, one of the bad kids, and they say Hades, but she spells it out, He double hockey sticks, and it just reminds me of like being a kid and like, oh no, I'm gonna get in trouble saying that. But that's about, and she has a small crush on a boy, but nothing serious. It's a great book. I do recommend 9+ for this one, but as always, parents, just look at the book yourself and make that call yourself. Okay, and that's the end of today's Backyard Book Chat. We will be changing our name to Kidlit next month, so in September, toward the end of the month, keep an eye out for Kidlit. We'll go over 3 to 4 books ranging ages 7 to 12, and you can maybe find your next title you want to read. Okay, see you next time. Bye.